Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our third virtual roundtable. Glad you could make it. Hopefully you're all wearing your mask when you're out seeing people or out there, or have your hand sanitizer with you. These are things to help keep us safe. We want to make sure that we stay healthy too, along with working with our boys. I'm coming from a long distance away. If you can tell behind me, I'm at the planet Tatooine. So it's a long distance communication. I figured I'd distance myself from everybody. But we have a lot going tonight, and we're all glad you're here. And we're going to say our pledge.
All right. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Do you want me to do the law and oath? You usually don't.
That'd be great.
Okay. All right. Please join me in the scout oath. The scout is trustworthy. No. Out of practice. Okay. Let's start with the scout law. The scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. And the scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, and to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. 2.
We've got a lot to go tonight. We have, of course, announcements as always to let you know what's happening. Some guides to help do your virtual meetings. And we have a new Scoutmaster Minute for you this week. So you should have joined that. Also, again, we're keeping track of these. Those who come and see me when we eventually do become face-to-face again. If you remember the code, 611 for something out of the grab bag. The other thing that we have that we want to make sure everybody is aware of, and yes, this is going a lot longer than it would normally, but we want to make sure you have plenty of time to recognize those people who are involved in the scouting program in your units, whether it's the District Award of Merit, the Spirit of Scouting Award, the Scouter of the Year Award, or a Godsend Award. We all have people in our units that make a difference to make scouting available and work for our youth that we're involved with. So don't hesitate, go online and nominate someone for it. Program preview.
Here we go. You ready? Program preview. Okay. It is July 16th, Thursday, next month. We're going to have our program preview. So you see a lot of activities here on the slide. There's some things that we're going to talk about there. Among the things that we're going to do is we're going to go over the new calendar. You'll get to see what the new calendar will be for scouting in Etowah. Also see get to be introduced to the new district committee members. And then as you see here, a lot of events are going to be talked about. We'll have flyers, we'll have digital flyers that we can send to you, but we'll go through the flyers. We'd like to have people talk about each of the programs that they're chairs of. So we've got a lot of activities. You're getting ready to plan, so a lot of people have already planned some of their meetings, but there's always some room to move things around a little bit. So you may see something that you just need to get into here. And this is going to give us a lot of information, give everybody a lot of information about what we can do in our events and to make things really exciting and fun for our Cubs and troops. Dates to remember, we have quite a few here. Pathfinders, we've got several weeks of Pathfinders here. You can see June 15th to the 19th and June 22nd to the 26th. Sign up. If you have not signed up for a Pathfinder class, you've just got a few more seconds left, basically. They're filling up fast with the loss of a lot of the camps going on this year. These have filled up quickly and we've got a lot of people working on it. We're really excited about that. Scout Show, June the 20th, guys. You got to be there. We have our Pinewood Derby is going to be there. We've got all kinds of things. We got the 5K going on in the morning. There's going to be a whole district crossover. Our district Pinewood Derby, as I mentioned, will be a Scout Show, and it's right there listed underneath the Scout Show. Some people are doing their Pinewood Derby this weekend for their units, so that they can get to this district one at the 20th and have the council one later that day. So there's a lot of things going on there. July 1st, camp card turn in. We may talk a little bit more about camp cards later, so I won't go into that, but be thinking about that. I'll come back to that. Don't forget the wild game dinner. It was a big success last year. And I think, Bill, you saw some good things there, correct?
Absolutely. It's a big fundraiser we have here within the council, and we'll actually have some more information coming on that within the next month as far as more details about lots of interesting and delicious dinner options there.
Cool. Very cool. I like interesting and delicious dinner options. That's always a good thing for me. And the last thing, there's our district awards dinner. Mark and I have been talking about this. We're going to tantalize you with that and not tell you anything about it right now, except for be on the lookout. Cool stuff coming.
All right. So let's talk about popcorn really quick. So thank you for the few units that have actually gone ahead and committed for next year. We are still doing popcorn next year. Things will look a little bit different. We have been getting some information from Trails End over the past couple of weeks as they finalize their things for this year's sale. But go ahead and sign your unit up. Go ahead and register yourself. Even if you're not going to be the colonel, go ahead and get yourself in the system so that we can go ahead and account for your unit and get you some of the materials that we'll be sending out. We'll be getting our product list here pretty soon. Trails End has got webinars that they're putting on for unit colonels. And really, with everything that's going on, you're not going to want to miss the updates that we have going on over the summer. I will go ahead and announce as well, just because it is right around the corner, that online selling is starting early this year. They actually just announced today that the online selling is going to start on July 1st. So go ahead and, again, get plugged into the system and let us know if you're going to sell or not, and let us know who we can contact so that we can get that material out to them and go ahead and get the ball rolling there.
The camp cards. I said I would come back to this, and I am here. Okay. Like we said a few minutes ago, the July 1st is going to be our turn-in. We're going to give a location for that. We're still working on the actual way we're going to turn them into location. So just kind of stand by watch for emails and things on that. As a unit leader, you can still check with some storefronts. There are some places opening up in our district that are allowing things, some Tractor Supplies, and I've heard of some Dairy Queens as well. So there's some different places that you may be able to find places if you want to get together here over the next few weeks to do that. There's as you know, we do have physical and the digital cards though. So if you're not able to get to a storefront in your area, but you're still looking for a way to try to build up some of this money for your summer day camp or your summer camp, we do have the digital camp cards that are available. They're unique to your unit. So if you're looking for one as a unit leader, let me or Sarah know about that. We can get one generated and set up for you. If you are a member of a unit and are looking for it, first reach out to your unit leader, and then we can work through that way. We can get you set up there so that you can do these. And one thing we can think of as the leaders, these kids, a lot of kids do depend on this to help them pay for this. So we can look at this as kind of a 5x5 challenge here. If you and your kids can find 5 different kids, or your unit can find 5 different kids to sell 5 camp cards each, you're going to be able to help out kind of salvage this year with our camp cards, with all the different closings and things. We have been, well, you know what's going on. You're living and watching the news as well. So, but we can help out our kids and have ways that we can actually get them to save up for their summer camps here. But you know, as I mentioned, you can contact me and Sarah if you do need to get in contact with that, with your unit leader, if you're having trouble with them, if we can get to you for the link. And also, if you're having trouble, if unit leaders, if you need some assistance in some way to get these camp cards out to people, Sarah and I can give you a hand with that. We're on the clock all the time. So Sarah, never mind, Sarah. Sorry about that. Okay, we'll move on. We are back to the summer day camps. All right, so we have been working to get a location and a date for all of our camps. They have all been refilled and reallocated. We see them coming up. You can go on our website. You see underneath the goat right down there. As Bill likes to say, goat to the link. So we have our STEM camp July 7th. Dawsonville camp is going to be July 13th. We have our North Forsyth July 13th as well. And then coming in South Forsyth, we're both there following up the next 2 weeks.
All right. Hi, everybody. So I'm here to talk to you guys about Scoutland Cub Summer Camp, and I'm here live from Scoutland behind me. So I just wanted to let you guys know we still have some spots available, so you can go to the link in the on that screen there to sign up. It's a 4-day, 3-night camp at Lake Lanier. It's beautiful. We have a lot of activities. You get to work on your adventures. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and I'd love to help you out.
Summer camp, we cannot forget about summer camp at our own Camp Rainy Mountain as well, up in the North Georgia mountains, up in Clayton. We're down to 4 weeks because of COVID, so we had to definitely pull it back a little bit, but we do still have room available. So have a very interactive and a very excited staff working starting today and all preparing all next week for getting ready for that first week of June 21st. So sign up if you have not had the opportunity.
All right, and on July 25th and 26th, that last weekend in July, we have an event going on. It's called Great Escape, and it's for any youth ages 14 and above, as well as adults. For the youth, it's $40, adults, it's $25. And basically what we do is we have all high adventure activities. We have water sports, shooting, we have canoe battles, we have archery, we make our own t-shirts. We have the only meal you're responsible for is your lunch on Saturday. We provide a large Mexican fiesta on Saturday evening, as well as an ice cream social, and then have a night full of games. And then Sunday morning, we have a pancake breakfast for all. And then we go right from the pancake breakfast into the shooting. It's on that Saturday. It's full day Saturday out in until 3 o'clock on Sunday. And to register, just go to that link. Any questions, feel free to email me at jason.defranco@scouting.org.
Hey, Jason, I have a quick question.
Sure.
Are you going to have the giant slip and slide into the lake this year?
We are looking at different things as of right now. That is one of the events we're waiting to get approval on based on COVID. That's one thing that's been put on hold. I'm hoping to have that approved basically after June, July timeframe. That is something that is in the talks though, yes.
Great.
This is something I'm very passionate about, is Wood Badge. This is advanced training for all Scout leaders. We want to make sure our Scouts are getting the best step ahead. And with that, we need our leaders to all be trained as well. We have 10 spots or less left available. We've got 2 weekends that are coming up, July the 24th through the 26th. And the second week is August the 8th and the 9th. It will be at Scoutland. Please do not let any funds, if you do not have the funds available and you're looking for a scholarship, please don't let that stop you from registering. We do have a scholarship available for people who are in need. So again, as it says on the bottom of the page, every Scout deserves a trained leader, and this is how to make sure that those leaders are trained.
Oh, NYLT. NYLT, as we all know, is the youth partner program to Wood Badge. It's the National Youth Leadership Training. It is the premier youth training that is offered by Boy Scouts of America. Normally we have 2 weeks in the summer, 2 courses for NYLT. Those have unfortunately both been canceled due to COVID-19, and they are now rescheduled to be a combination fall-winter course. There will be a single course It will span 2 long weekends. It will be, the first one will be after Thanksgiving, and the second one will be right after Christmas. So November 28th through the 29th, and then December 28th through the 31st. We will still be at Scoutland, and we will be giving that one course, and we are combining our staffs. It's going to be amazing. And if you haven't signed up, or if you've had one of your scouts cancel because, well, unsign up because the course got canceled, you still can sign up again. That's not a problem. So go to Northeast Georgia website /NYLT and sign up your youth for this amazing training. It will change them, and they will bring all that training back to their units and strengthen their home units.
Yeah, hi. So obviously coronavirus forced us to cancel our pre-camp and spring fellowship events earlier this year. We have scheduled a new ordeal weekend this year. It'll be September 18th to 20th. We're calling it Fall Fellowship. It'll be pretty much the same as what would have happened in the spring, except it'll be in fall. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. Powwow has also been rescheduled, not because we had to cancel it, but because we're moving it back a little bit because we had to put in Fall Fellowship. So Powwow will also be like programmed as normal, but the date for it will be October 3rd or 30th to November 1st. And we'll also have Christmas banquet at our normal time, same as every year, or winter banquet now. So units who still want OA elections, please contact me because we can have them pretty much all the way until Fall Fellowship, all the way in September. But I wouldn't procrastinate. So you should definitely contact me that has not had an OA election and you're interested in having one. We can do it online or in person right now. Either way works for us, whichever one your unit feels more comfortable with. And yeah, so every candidate who is elected this year now has until spring of 2021 to go through their ordeal, meaning that if they can't make our one ordeal weekend this year, which will be Fall Fellowship, they can go to next year's Spring Fellowship or pre-camp. That's about all I have. Again, contact me if you want to have a unit election. My email should be somewhere. Yeah, that's all I have.
Ooh, I gotta do this.
You're on mute.
Sorry, he muted me. I'm going to do a quick change. So National Jamboree 2021 is going to be amazing. Hopefully we will be past most of our COVID challenges. We are actively taking registration right now as we speak. So sign up your youth. We are going to have a presence at the Scout Show, so you can learn a lot more about all the programming that will be available. They've also lowered the age restriction for scouts that can attend National Jamboree. So some of our younger scouts can attend as well. We will have a lot more information about that at the Scout Show, and it's also online at Northeast Georgia /Jamboree 2021. We also encourage adults who are interested in going to the Jamboree. We have a limited amount of adult staff that is going with our council contingent, but BSA National always needs help on their service team from qualified scouters. So that is an excellent way for you to attend with your youth from your unit or your own children by staffing, and you'll be able to see them from time to time and participate and have fun at the Jamboree on your own, in your own way as a staff. So I highly encourage you to register as soon as possible. We're trying to fill up one contingent unit, and if we have more than that, we will send a second contingent unit. So lots of space. Jump on it while you can. And if you have any questions, you can always ask myself or anyone else that's been to the Jamboree, which are quite a few of us.
And where's the Scout Show going to be again?
Scout Show is going to be at Scoutland.
Yeah, not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yeah, the 20th. Yeah.
On the 20th. Yes.
You're muted.
I did a great job. I was demonstrating. Good. Yeah, provide an example. So we actually did have, a lot of great things have been happening as far as advancements as well. Even though with the COVID challenges we've had amongst all the chaos in the world, we actually have been able to move forward virtually with our Eagle boards. So this last month in May, we actually did have 3 brand new Eagle Scouts. So congratulations to them. And we also started having project approvals. So having as the Eagle service projects, as they come through, having those approved. So we've started that process. So we now have those happening virtually, and that will continue on for the near future until we get ourselves stabilized and the churches started opening and we have places we can actually meet and have those physical Eagle boards again. Which brings us to Cub Scout Advancements. How are we doing on advancements? Mark, Carol, Elizabeth?
Well, remember with the Cub Scouts, we ask them to do their best. If they're having trouble making a particular activity or completing it, we want them to make their best effort at it. They still have some time to complete their rank they're in. So if they're, for instance, a tiger, they can finish being other tiger requirements. They need to get them done. They should shoot for July 1st, but you can get it in there before August, we're good too. Carol?
Yeah, and Elizabeth and I will be going over some online den activities, how to do online den meetings at our separate Zoom meeting coming up shortly. As soon as we're done with this part, we have it scheduled for 7:30. And we'll be doing, I'll be doing a demonstration on how to make garden in a glove and get back to having our good fellowship like we were used to having in person with, so stick around for the Cub Leader Breakout session coming separately on a separate Zoom link. Bobby, Bill, you gonna put that up for us?
Yes, we'll make sure that gets transferred over to the YouTube channel.
Okay, great.
Elizabeth, is there anything else you want to contribute?
They can complete their requirements by July 31st, and those who have not, who have completed requirements can automatically rank up to their next rank, and they can start having all the elective fun, which we'll be doing in day camps. That's it.
That's awesome. And and also from on a home front perspective with the merit badges, I mean, we're starting to get together and start meeting in person a little bit on the troop side, but there's still the opportunity you can actually perform merit badges on the scouting side, still at home. So there's lots of different opportunities here. Here's just a few examples that we've seen come from national, set in the community, nation, and world, and even on the personal fitness. I mean, I think personally right now, I mean, we've done this for about 3 months. If you would have started if you would have started personal fitness or personal management at the beginning of everything we're doing, you'd be almost done. Think about that. And so it doesn't mean that now's not a good time to get started on some of these really important merit badge opportunities. You can do it on the home front. And I don't think Neil's here. So from one thing we wanted to mention also, it's not just about youth, but also for adults. It's a great time to get caught up on the training. We're gonna definitely have our in-person training as soon as we can come back together and help collaborate a little bit more in person, but you still have the online training available. And there's online training, whether talk about youth protection, leader specific, merit badge counselors, or maybe there's some additional specific training that you need and you're looking for. Look on scouting.org. There's definitely lots of training opportunities for you to learn, whether it's the committee, you want to learn about Scoutmaster specific, lots of different opportunities there to leverage that. I mean, maybe there's, I can't remember the one, it's more about hazardous weather, and you can take that. That's always an important one that we're always looking for help on as well. So, and you can do that right there online. You just have to click, and there you go.
Quick thing to remind people in training, 2 years ago, we had our new youth protection rolled out, and it's good for 2 years. So a lot of us are coming up to have it redone. So get online and get it done. We don't want to have the system crash when everybody's trying to do it at one time. It keeps you up to date. You need to be registered, you need to complete youth protection training to be re-registered in this fall when we start recharter again. So make sure you get it done.
Can I just add in something on training? We do need NOAA counselors, so there is training for NOAA counselors online too. And if people are very much interested, they can even become a Supernova counselor, so Supernova mentor. So that training is also available, so please do that too.
If you become a supernova, does that mean it becomes really bright? You just start shining above all the rest?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You would always have a light bulb over your head.
I've been told that's not going to happen for me, but okay, sure.
Oh, I am a supernova mentor.
There you go. Awesome. Well, the one thing on this, as we're talking through it, it's about keeping everyone engaged. Whether it's your own scouts, our scouts, however you want to look at that, definitely want to keep the momentum moving forward because we're all getting stirred up. We're all going crazy. I mean, we've seen plenty of craziness the last couple of weeks in Atlanta. I'm not going to go into details about that. I'll let you look at the news. But it's all about how can we be more constructive? How can we be, and how can we help move and get our mindset in the right place? And this is the opportunity where helping keep the scouts involved, active, et cetera, it's a good thing. And they'll learn a lot of new skills out of that. Anybody else want to contribute on this?
Hey, Bill.
Yes, sir.
I sent a note out to all unit commissioners yesterday, and we are in dire need of some additional members, district committee members at large. And we'd like to have unit leaders and maybe get together with your unit chairman and provide me a prospect's name, and we can talk to the individuals. Bottom line is we want to try to get these folks in, and if they're already a registered scouter, they would be dual-hatted at no additional cost. So if anybody's got any questions on that, give me a call or send me an email.
Great point, because we can always use more help on the committee. Absolutely use more help. I mean, there's several of us on it, but there's a lot of activities happening within the district. That kind of goes hand in hand. Adult leaders, our leadership's needed now and needed more than ever. And think about leadership. There's one thing to have a title. There's another thing to actually perform it. And we actually need the individuals can help perform it and be that rock and be able to look at from that perspective. The paper doesn't go very far is the best way to explain it. Yeah, but we need the leaders, we need the adult leaders from several different angles to help us, whether it's scouting without outside, whether it's in scouting or outside scouting, doesn't matter, but we need that leadership more than ever. Now, there's also the opportunity of scouting at home. There are additional resources from the BSA. So you have scouting at home and it looks at multiple different areas. So I just wanted to put that little plug in here on that. Additional resources available to you. And we also have the opportunity to talk about COVID-19. It's all about being safe scout, but what's that really mean at the end of the day? How do we look at that? We have lots of different things, right? So if you want to look, for example, and just go and probably put yourself to sleep at night, I highly recommend reading the CDC document on suggestions for youth and summer camps, or the state of Georgia, the Governor Kemp's executive order. It will put you to sleep. It's pages upon pages of important things. I'm not saying it's not important. It's very important. But what I wanted to do is summarize some of those pieces. And feel free to look to the details you want to. I highly encourage if you really enjoy that. But keep in mind, I just put some high level points in here. 6 foot distancing. We hear that all the time. And we're up to groups of 25. So it's not about groups of 10 anymore. So we're up to groups of 25. So we can actually do that. But if you feel sick, definitely stay home. It's about being safe on that side and safe for yourself as well as for others. And how do we stay safe? It's the hygiene. keep a hygiene, and make sure that you pay attention to what you're doing for hygiene. Cleanse your hands. For example, anytime I go out, as soon as I go back inside my truck and I go to drive off, I almost always have hand sanitizer on my hands. I clean them up and then I continue driving. That way, as an example, it's right there and available. So you have different ways of doing it, but we want to provide some examples here. But also keep in mind, if you see someone else that needs a reminder on that, whether it's a mask, and everyone has their different challenges on the mask, I won't say they don't, whether it's how close they are to you, don't be afraid of saying social distance. It's for your safety as much as everyone else's, the social distance. And if something gets really, really crazy, please notify who you need to, whether it's an adult, whether it's the proper authorities, et cetera. Don't go crazy with it, but make sure you think it through on how you want to address that, because it is important for, again, how we move forward and think about this, because COVID-19, keep in mind, it's an unknown. People will say, okay, yeah, we're going to take off masks, et cetera, but it's still an unknown factor. We really don't know what we're after, what we're trying to solve. We don't know all the problems behind it. It's a challenge. So keep in mind, as you do, keep yourself safe as you move forward. If you're even going to camps, and for the day camps, you're going to Camp Rainy Mountain, you're going to Scoutland, for the different activities happening, still, we want to stay safe. Absolutely. Trust me, I've been to both in the last couple of weeks. They're great camps and they're ready to have participants come in and have a lot of fun. But having fun, we have to make sure we keep ourselves smart about it, right? So as you do that, it's not just about being a safe scout, but being a safe person as we move forward. So with that, brings us virtually, we're here. Trust me, we're broadcasting right now on YouTube. Who could have imagined in January we'd be doing this, right? It just was not even on our radar. I mean, doing Zoom, tied to YouTube, how we move forward. There's all sorts of different virtual meeting options. And trust me, I do virtual meeting options myself professionally. And I know I've used probably half of what you see right here myself within the last week. And trust me, it kind of goes, you go a little crazy after a while when you do it for so many hours on end. But leverage what you can. Again, it's about being safe. And there's lots of different examples. The last couple of months, feel free to get the recordings off of YouTube. We talked about some troop meetings and how that's been happening virtually. We've been doing it as far as roundtables like this, Eagle Border Reviews. We had some examples there. But that brings us into what we're about to talk about now with the Cubbies. We got some high-level examples there. And then after that, we'll have a Scoutmaster Minute, wrap things up, and then we'll have a breakout session for our Cub Scouts. So at that,
Bill,
go for it.
I think Sarah has some questions that's been forwarded to her.
Oh, sorry. Did I miss that?
No, it's on our YouTube page. I was waiting to the end before we got to those.
Okay. So we'll wait for the questions. Got it. Thank you for bringing that up. You see, this is how we support each other, even virtually. It's great. Okay, Elizabeth, it's all you.
Den meetings are going to be fun. I've had many den meetings with my den, and this was what I did. It was more interactive, and the main thing was meeting each other through virtually was really exciting for the kids. So when we did stuff, we always did things either through PowerPoint or videos or games. And in between, when the kids were feeling really hyper about it, we started doing scavenger hunts and bingo cards and Kahoot. I've not tried with the little ones, but then it is interesting. So always start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, the Scout Oath, and the Scout Law. And always remember that once you are finishing everything, remind the kids what you need to do, because the kids are meeting you in person. Sometimes their parents might forget. So always tell the Cubbies to get back to their parents and do stuff along with them. That's it. Remember, keep it simple, keep it fun.
So Elizabeth, I have a question on this because there's some great tips here. Mm-hmm. How long is a typical den meeting? You guys keep in mind it's virtual, and now from a youth perspective, it's trying to keep them focused.
Oh,
so what do you see as being successful?
At least 30 to 40 minutes. And because it's all sitting in the comfort of our own homes, things go on really fast, and our kids really love the time in interacting with each other, and they always look forward to it. And most of the time they get onto the chat and start typing stuff, answering and all that. It's really fun. Sometimes I've done presentations online, and for some of us it has backfired, so which means we had to do it as videos later. So it does happen, because when you want to do an experiment online, things might not work out easily. So maybe a video later also helps.
Nope, that sounds good.
Elizabeth, Cam, do you mind me volunteering you to interact with other PACs that are not doing virtual meetings?
Oh, yes, I love to do that.
Okay, you're volunteered.
Yep. Thank you.
Is that volunteered or voluntold? But
Well,
anyways, okay, yeah.
I'm voluntold now.
No, Bill, I picked the volunteer.
Yeah, I got voluntold.
That's what it's all about, keeping it fun. Absolutely. No, great. And then you had some additional links here too, right, Elizabeth?
Oh, yes. These are the different websites which are actually from national, which can be used for helping you out for each den. Some of it can be done at home, just with your cubby. Some of it can be done with your den too. So always keep your parents informed. And that's the thing which I said about follow up with your kids. Always tell the kids, can you go and do that along with your parents? Because then the kids will always bug their parents to help them out with all these websites later on.
That sounds awesome. So great for the tips. And we'll make sure this presentation we'll have a link on YouTube when we're finished. We'll make sure it's published there that you can download the links. And you'll see links for the previous presentation the last couple months out there as well. Well, that brings us almost close to our closing. And we're going to have some Q&A actually. But we want to first have a Scoutmasters Minute. And we have Andy Whaley from Troop 254 here to give us our Scoutmasters Minute for the day.
Thank you, Bill. I was reminded of a story recently. It was a story of a guy who he turned on the radio and he realized that he was in the middle of, he picked up a talk show that was already underway. And the host, a younger fella, he was talking with an older gentleman that had called in. And the older gentleman mentioned something about 1,000 marbles. And that was intriguing. And so the gentleman continued. He says, well, he was talking to the host. He said, well, it sounds like you're sure really busy with your job. And I know that's important, but it's a shame that you have to spend so much time with your job and away from your home and family. And it's a shame you missed your daughter's recital. He said, let me tell you about something that's helped me to keep my perspective on my priorities. And that's when he began to explain his idea of the 1,000 marbles. He said, you see, I sat down one day and I did a little arithmetic. The average person lives about 75 years. Okay, some quite a bit more, maybe some not as much, but on average, 75 years. So I multiplied the 75 by 52, and I came up with 3,900, which is the number of weeks that the average person has in their lifetime. And so here's the important part. It took me until I was about 55 to realize what was going on here. And at that point, I realized that I had already blown through well over 2,800 weeks. And I got to thinking, if I live to be 75, I only have about 1,000 of them left. So I went to the toy store and I bought every marble they had. And it wasn't quite enough. So I went to a couple more stores and I bought 1,000 marbles. And I put them all into a large clear container. Now, you see, Monday to Friday, most of us have things that we have responsibilities, whether it's work or school or whatever. And Sunday, of course, is the Lord's Day. But Saturday, that's kind of my day to do what I want to do. And he continued, he said, so every Saturday since that day, I got up, made up my mind what I was going to do, and I took a marble out of that jar and I discarded it. And I found that by watching these marbles diminish in the jar, I focused more and more on the really important things in life, because there's nothing like watching your time here on Earth run out to set your priorities straight. So the show host paused for a minute and he said, wow, you know, that's a really profound way of looking at things. And he said, if you don't mind my asking, how many marbles do you have left? The gentleman paused for a minute, cleared his throat, and he says, well, I turned 75 3 weeks ago. And now when I get up and I look at that empty jar, I count my blessings, because each Saturday, that's truly a gift. And I'm not only grateful for it, but I make sure that I spend it wisely. So I'd ask each of you, your days are just as important to you. How do you spend yours? Don't waste them. You can't get them back.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you for that, Mr. Whaley. That was amazing. Well, so I have a little challenge for us, and we're getting closer. We're getting up there. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. It's the ability to get out there, and the goal is to see if we can get 100 subscribers by the end of this month. That is definitely our goal. We can get a lot of people on there. We just need to get subscribed. That way you'll see us when you'll be notified when there are updates, new recordings, etc. Because we do plan on leveraging the YouTube channel even more in the upcoming, more than just the roundtable. We're actually going to have short snippets about upcoming events, things like that. Just so you're in the know, not in the new, but in the know, and you have that, we're able to leverage the new media available to us. So we're to the question part. It's all about that Q&A. You can call it Stump the Chump if you want to. We're okay with that. Feel free to start asking questions.
All right, Bill, I've got several from YouTube. The first one is, Forsyth County schools will be opening in about 8 weeks with very limited access for outside groups. What does this mean for Cub Scout roundups?
I will defer to RDEs.
Well, Sarah, I can start talking if you want, and then you can fill in the things that I miss.
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to talk.
Okay, I'll go for it. Well, first off, okay, here's our plan right now. We are planning to do things exactly as normal, but we're also planning for backups. So we're talking about several different options. I won't go into all the different things, but we, everything from videos to flyers to carnivals to just all kind of things that have been discussed. Now, everything that I say is not going to be done. And we really still haven't come up with the situation yet, or identified exactly what we're going to do. But we're really in a gathering information mode right now. Some things that if you want to be helpful to help us out, we are looking for people that might be strong in the community. You can let Sarah and I know people that are big supporters of Scouts that might be able to say, hey, and maybe write a short letter or say something about to the school that they're in. Hey, Scouts good. I know we can't be at a roundup, but they're going to have a roundup at, let's just say, Bethelview United Methodist Church this weekend or this Thursday night. So we're looking for people that can help us get the word out and kind of endorse us, I guess you could say. And we're also looking for just creative ways that we can send things through the schools, such as, you know, we know that a lot of schools use email and the red folders go home down on the weeks, but just anything that the parents can think of that could pass on to us to help us get the message out. That would be a great thing for you to do, to pass to your unit leaders or straight directly to Sarah or myself.
Thank you so much, Jay. The next question is Northeast Georgia Council reconsidering online applications given how digital scouting has become?
Well,
so I'll jump in and answer that one. That is something that has been talked about. It is something that we're still talking about. That is a topic that's coming up in our managers meeting tomorrow at staff meeting. It's on our agenda to go look at and look around and see, basically to dissect that process to make sure it fulfills all the needs we have to make sure that they are registered, and to basically right now we're working out the kinks. So to answer your question, it is something we're looking at, and it is something we're very seriously considering putting into action. However, as of right now, it has not been finalized at this moment.
Thank you,
Thanks, Jason.
The next question is, given the $66 increase in national dues since last roundup, is Northeast Georgia Council contemplating any fee changes for the 2020-21 PAC year?
Well, there has been an announcement from National that there will be is more or less a $6 increase from the 60 amount that was last year. And I don't have my notes in front of me, but I believe we're looking at $66 for a youth, $44 for explorers, youth, and then $44 for an adult. Then we also have there's a slightly difference of recharter. It will go to a $75 recharter fee, if you're familiar with that. And then for a new scout that will be coming in into roundups, then there's a $25 application fee for that. Now, this is all things that have increased through the BSA National, but the only thing that the council really adds to that, and we've done this for a while, is the $3 insurance for each person that's going to be on your roster. So but that should not change. We're keeping that the same. So there is a small increase for this year, and but it's outside of anything that we can do. And I would say this too, and I brought this up to Mark Ferrara the other day, and he just looked at me and said, well, you know what? Scouting, even with that increase, this is still a great value. You look at all the different things that are out there, the soccer, the cheer, the football, and you look at an annual participation extracurricular activity for our youth, and this is a drop in the bucket compared to those. Now, I'm not happy, I should say, that necessarily the prices have gone up, and I know it's tough on people, and I will also remind people too, if you are struggling with this financially, our Friends of Scouting, our family enrollment program, has really worked very hard, and I would thank every person on here that has contributed to that, because that has made it so that with this increase, if someone has a financial difficulty, whether they're trying to get to summer camp or pay their registration dues, or we have a new person who's coming in, we've got you covered. You just let your unit leader know, we fill out a piece of paperwork, in 5 minutes, you have approval for the payment for this. So to answer your question, there are some increases in price, not at a council level, there are no new council fees, but if you're having difficulties, please let us know, we will help you.
Jay, question on the fee for the new scout. I thought that took effect in 2021.
I believe it takes effect August 1.
Oh.
20.
Okay. Now, my follow-on question is, are we going to, during roundups, are we going to go for the remainder of the year or 18 months?
So for the roundup season, during roundups, it is going to be for the remainder of the year. So the new scouts, the effect $25 sign-up fee, membership fee does go into effect August 1st. And at the roundups, we will be paid through the end of the recharter season. So when recharters come about, they'll pay the full year at that moment.
Okay.
With the increased fee, I also want to throw out there that with the increased fee, we do know that, it is an increase. And even though it is $6, it is still a very good value. We are working as a council as well to have an option where we're going to put on an event that will be free of charge for every new scout that signs up after the roundup season. So to help offset that cost, but also to give them an event that goes through as well. That's being talked about, finalizing the dates and exactly what that is. But that is something that will be happening in the fall as well to help offset that cost. So it's more of a value seek for the individuals that are just signing up as well.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jay, Jason, and Cameron. So our next question is about the Scout Show. Can Scouts show up later in the day on Saturday to attend the Scout Show, or does everyone need to check in either on Friday or Saturday morning?
Well, for Scout Show, they can come anytime. We're never going to turn Scouts away. Obviously, 8 o'clock is when registration starts for the District Pinewood Derby, the 5K, and the morning events. However, if individuals are just coming for the crossover, just coming for range master training, anything along the times, we will still have individuals up front, still checking temperatures and following the protocol, so they can come anytime. We're never going to turn Scouts away. And we want the more the merrier, as long as you feel safe coming. And we are following the protocols needed, so they can come anytime throughout the day.
Thank you, Jason. The next question, I'm going to sort of mix two into one. It says, how will summer camps, summer day camps, or how will we do summer day camps if we are limited to groups of 50 or less?
Well, I'll say right now, we don't have a group that goes up to 50 right now. It's a problem we would like to have to worry about a little bit right now. But there are different ways we can do that. Some of our spaces, like our North Forsyth, it has a very vast amount of area that we could use and split things up. So we would have to be creative. So we'll just have to handle that specific situation when it arises. Well, I will say though that we would, instead of doing something unsafe, we would put a limit and stop people from showing up. But we're going to make sure we do it the safe way. We're going to follow the directives and keep things going in a good way, so that you'll feel comfortable with your kids being there, and your kids will be as good as they possibly can be.
Okay, thanks, Jay. And the last, it's not necessarily a question, but it was definitely a comment. And it was earlier in the YouTube chat. There was a happy birthday wish to Carol, and we wanted to make sure that that was put out there as well. So Carol, happy birthday.
Should we sing?
Thank you.
That is all of the questions on the YouTube channel, Bill.
What? No singing? No singing? I want to hear you guys sing.
She wants to hear her sing.
I do all the singing. It's your turn. Once a year.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Birthday, dear Carol.
Happy birthday to you.
And
Sorry, my microphone was on mute. Can you do that again?
Hey, we're not going to quit our day jobs.
We're also not
Absolutely.
going to get a raise for that
Thank
singing.
you all. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Hey,
And I have already shared the link for your breakout and
Thank
the
you.
meeting ID for the breakout as well on the YouTube channel for your Cub Scouts. But there was no password, so that has been communicated.
Yeah, I put no password. It's enough numbers already. The password always gives me trouble, so I don't want to cause anybody else trouble, so I didn't put one.
Bill, I've got a quick question. Do we have a new DE, Sarah Dover?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. She's very refreshed.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the district.
Mrs. Dover.
thanks, everybody.
Yeah, congratulations. You got married, was it a little over a week ago now?
Yep, yeah, June 1st was the day.
Awesome.
Nice pictures you sent.
Thank you.
Definitely congratulations on that.
You're a whole new person.
Yeah. Well, so we have the link. So this has been posted on the YouTube channel. So you have that out there. So definitely take advantage of that. Carol and Elizabeth have some great content to share with you. So we just had to separate and segregate it from the main dialogue here.
Oh, there is a password there.
It's also yeah. So if you need a password, it's gonna be right there. That piece. The going back to something Cam said earlier from a district perspective, if you have any experience working with the video or media, we do plan on leveraging this medium ongoing, even when we go back in person. So if you have some experience, we definitely could leverage some more experience on the committee on that side. If you'd like to have fun with technology, it's definitely highly encouraged. So we can definitely use some additional assistance on that. Which brings us to our end. It's hard to believe we're here. So we're at 7:57. Guys, I think it's been a great meeting, very enthusiastic, very energetic. Appreciate everyone's contributions. And please, if there's anything we can do, feel free to reach out. We're here for you. Servant leadership sort of way. So thank you again. Have a great weekend and years in scouting.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a good night.